So you gotta test yourself somehow. I don't have a really good low voltage test setup, so we have this absolute crackhead looking monster of a contraption set up here. So let me bring you to it. So obviously this is one of the Braun energy sourced cells, an MB31 314 amp hours from Eve supposedly, and we have one power supply charging, two power supplies charging. These can do about 40 amps each, so we have about 80 amps of charging. And this is of course Big Bertha, my constant current load, but this is built for 12 volt batteries, so it can only do 10 amps. But with a bit of magic, I can use the automatic charging functionality to trigger all 4 channels at the same time, so I can dump a 40 amps discharge into this guy once it's done. And here we have monitoring for that once we get that far. So currently the cell is charging, the address 0 here is the master, so it's charging at 3.3-ish volts. I just put it on. I'm going to have to babysit this like a hawk, because these power supplies don't have 4-wire measurement, so I need to put a very high voltage here, because there's just so much current going that there's a ton of voltage drop in these 4 square millimeter wires, and I can't be bothered making new ones just for this. We have, I didn't want to clamp everything onto the actual terminals of the cells, just took a couple of bus bars, lightly tightened them down there, so I can sort of mess around with this end over here without actually damaging the aluminium terminals of the actual cell, because I want to use this cell afterwards. Of course, it's a fairly expensive device. So I'm just going to let this charge for quite a while, even at 70-80 amps. This is a 314 amp hour cell, probably like 20% charged, so it's going to take a few hours, hopefully, to get it up to a reasonable voltage. And then we're going to do a cycle, which is going to take another 10-ish hours to complete at 40 amps. So yeah, this is going to take like 2 days for me to do, but I guess you're going to be back for results in no time. That's something that is just absolutely impressive about LFP as a technology in itself, is its incredible ability to just have a stable voltage. So this power supply is currently feeding 20 plus amps. We can just keep an eye on the voltage there, and we'll go from nothing to 45 amps, and it has like no effect on the terminal voltage at all. It's just completely rock solid. What's that, 10 millivolts of delta? That, imagine doing that to lead acid. You'd be going from like 2.1 volts per cell to 2.4. It's just really impressive. Alright, I couldn't be bothered with the dodgy, thin 4 square mil wiring, so I crimped up some fat leads with some random leftover parts, and now we can actually charge at all that these guys can push without going insane of a voltage. We're just pushing 3.75, which isn't, like, if I pass out and die and this stuff runs for a couple of days, that's not a huge deal. And same thing for this guy over here, some nice fat 8 square mil leads, bit higher source voltage, 3.78, but a lot better. That guy was over 4 volts before, which was just that's getting a bit up there. So now I can charge at about 90 amps instead of 70, with a significantly better safety, even though this obviously doesn't have any safety at all. I printed out Off-Grid Garage's nice charge chart for this cell, so we can sort of estimate the state of charge from this. If we turn off one of these, we'll be roughly at his current, so what are we at? 3.36-ish, and that's going to be like, yeah, like there somewhere in the big plateau. So it's probably going to be sitting there for quite a while. The cell is clearly not completely charged yet. Well, there you go. I went out for half an hour, and we're definitely fully charged now. that's just like snap your fingers and you're done. When I went out, we were at like 3.4-ish, so we were right there somewhere. And half an hour just went whoop. So we now have a fully charged battery, so I can disconnect the chargers and power on the load. Alright, so now rewired up for the load, disconnected the chargers and hooked up the load instead. So the way this works is address series, the master, and the other ones can only start once the master started, so I need to be quick when turning this on. Clamp meter on there. So 1, and now we're running. 40 amps. Clamp meter's a bit out, it's not calibrated. And we just wait now, I guess. This is going to take quite a while, almost 10 hours if this cell is as good as I hope it is. Well, we have a discharge curve. And in my stupidity, I accidentally reset the tester and lost the amp hour count for you. But I can tell you that the result was, drumroll please, 320 amp hours, which is in line with a good cell. It's fairly cold in here, so and I'm only testing down to 2.8 volts, so yeah, I'm super happy with that. There's nothing wrong with that. I like consistency, so the closer to 314 you are, the happier I am, as long as you're not under it. The discharge curve is pretty much what you'd expect. I've compared it to Off-Grid Garage's lovely published numbers, and it's pretty much in line. So I'm comfortable that these are going to be high quality cells sold as advertised. No funny business. I didn't notice much swelling at all. There was no increased pressure on the clamps as the cell was either charging or discharging. It's been pretty constant. So that's all good news. I'm happy with that. Now, as I've been playing around with this cell, I have been thinking a lot about this mounting mechanism. I've known from the start that I'm not going to be happy with just the original nuts and bus bars and nothing. That just seems like a recipe for loose connections in the pretty short run, I would say. So I have invented a very simple solution. I've gone to Wirt and bought some stainless nylock nuts and some just normal split ring spring washers. I have ordered some Belleville disc spring washers, but they are out of stock, so they're going to take like a month to get here. So I obviously don't want to wait that long to get them, so spring washers it is for the time being. And really, I am happy with this result. This is torqued down to as close to 4 Newton meter as my terrible torque wrench will go, which is like 5 minus 0.8 Newton meters, which is, it's less than 5. It's somewhere close to 4, but this thing isn't really made to go that far. But I do get constant, repeatable results, and this is, it's very on there. And when I look washer it definitely feels as if it's not going to be going anywhere, and the spring washer is doing a good job. The spring does want to sort of get caught in the wide hole in there, but I don't think that's a problem, because it still compresses just fine. And this time it didn't get caught on there, and it does fully compress. It is absolutely bottomed out, and the mechanical sturdiness of this is just, it's good. Like you can see, I'm flexing the bus bar rather than moving anything. This feels very, very solid. So I'm pretty confident that this is going to be a good solution. I may upgrade to the Belleville washers in the long term once we arrived. I have ordered them, but I don't actually think that's going to be necessary. But if I build more batteries in the future, I may use those. So yeah, that seems like a pretty reasonable solution. And the cost for these like 200 nuts and 200 washers was like $20, which is less than I'm going to be paying for the Belleville washers alone. So there's also that.